Welcome one and all. Welcome to Racers, my Opera Clutch series. This is episode number 73. This is where we discuss all the operas in the game, ranked from worst to best. So this is all subjective. It's all opinion based. So don't hate me in the comment section below. This is all opinion based. This is where I think each opera is listed from worst to best. In this video, we're going over from 68th to 41st. And in the next two videos, we'll do 40th to 21st and 20th to 1st. So this is all opinion based. Do not hate me, and we're gonna continue from here on out. All right. So there's no really explanation for Blackbeard being in last place. The only explanation is he's just the worst operator in the game. Everyone agrees with that. He's the worst operator in the game. He has had no update since he's been really out in the game. He's just the worst operator. His shield serves no purpose for him, and everything else that he's the worst. Everyone should agree on that one. Nock is 67th, basically because she only helps herself. He doesn't help the team at all. She only helps herself. That's basically why she gets 67th. Other than that, her gun's better than Blackbeard, but her gun is not as good as all the other operators in the game. And just like I said, she only helps herself, so basically she's just there. So that's why she gets 67th. In 66th place, we got Montaigne. So we had 68th Blackbeard, 67th Nook. Montaigne, we got 66th. So Montaigne helps the team out a lot, but if he's alone, I mean, there's not much he can do other than just like try to protect the bomb. If the team on the other team is coordinated enough, they can kill the Montaigne easily and the round will be over. So I think for that sort of purpose, Montaigne is 56 because like there's nothing really going for him that much. The only thing that's going for him is he can protect the team for a stated amount of time until the enemy team gets the better hand of him, basically. 65th place is Blitz. It goes by the same argument as Montaigne. I think it's just because he can protect himself better because he has the flash things. Because all he can do is just flash the enemy, kill them, it's over. Whereas Montaigne, he can't do that. The only thing he can do is protect himself for a very period of time before the enemy team just overpowers him. Same thing. That's the same thing with Blitz too. It's just that Blitz has a better hold on the enemy team, but once his flashes go away, then the enemy team can just destroy him as good as they can destroy Montaigne. You just can't put him anywhere above anything else because all the other operators above Blitz are better than Blitz. That's basically it. Alibi is 64th. The reason behind that is once Alibi's stains are destroyed, Alibi's ability is basically useless because all her ability does is basically track the person. So like once they destroy the Alibi without like getting themselves tracked, then Alibi can't really do anything. So basically, once her things are destroyed, her being helpful to the team is basically useless. So other than her ability being basically useless when everything is destroyed, her gun's really good and better than all the guns before her. So this is why I put it at 64 because her ability is just kind of useless in a way and doesn't really help the team that much, honestly. So, but yeah, 64 is Alibi. So let's see what we got in 63rd. Alright, 63rd we got Glass. So even with the buffs that Glass has gotten recently with like the free speed and like everything else, I feel like Glass, once his team dies, he can't really clutch it up because like if they plant the bomb and everything else is that and he's outside like from afar sniping sniping everybody, the only way he wins is if the other team just like runs out and tries to kill him, basically. Because there's no way he's gonna get to the bomb fast enough while he's out there just sniping away to try to like save the round. If he's out very far out, there's no way he's gonna get to the bomb fast enough, even though he's a free speed, to try to save the round. There's no way. So that's why I put Glaz in 63rd because like his purpose is to snipe and that's it.
I don't really play with them.
Once his purpose is fulfilled, he's not really that useful for the team overall. So that's why I put him
I would
in
count
63rd because he's just not that useful.
I would say
62nd is Warden. Basically,
Supreme's like
his only his only purpose is to fulfill himself. Basically, he only helps himself. The only thing is, since he only helps himself, then that's fine. But he has a better gun than all the other guns on this list, which is why he's better than all the other operators on this list so far. So that's why I put him in 62nd. But overall, he just helps himself, and he has a better gun than everyone else. That's basically all I'm trying to say. Sens is 61st, basically because if the enemy team is coordinated and knows where Sens is, then his ability is basically useless. Because you can shoot through his ability, you can basically do anything you want to his ability, and it's kind of useless in that sort of way, unless if the enemy team is coordinated enough, they can easily defeat Sens. It's not the ability doesn't really help out the team that much. The only thing it helps out the team with is getting the bomb down easily. That's about it. But once the Sens thing is gone, the ability is kind of useless after that, and the enemy team can easily just like coordinate a way to destroy him pretty easily. So that's why I put like Sens in 61st, because he doesn't help the team that much. In 60th we have Capitao. Capitao, I feel like could be utilized in a way to make him a good operator. It's just that like his smokes and his like fire is good and all, but like that only helps out for so long. It's like once the smoke dissipates, it's you can't really be used anymore, and like the fire, once it dissipates, you can't use it anymore either. So like once his ability dissipates, there's no real reason to like have him on the team, because all he would be doing is like gun ability and stuff like that. So since he has a very limited like time-based ability, he can't really go any higher than this placement. The only reason he's up this high is because his gun's like a really good gun, basically. So I feel like 60th is the best spot for him. There are arguments to placing him higher, I feel like, if given the best scenario. So I'm open to suggestions for Capitao. So far, that's the only one I'm open to suggestions for. But I think putting Capitao in this placement is not a bad place for him. I think he can be utilized well, and I think he can also be utilized bad. So I think that's a good place for him. Anyways, we got 59th for Ash. So Ash is just a rush operator. She only helps herself. It's just that her gun is better than all the rest on this list, so that's why she's like the best overall right now in this video. But this operators above her. Basically, operators like Amaru is better than her. Amaru gets 58th place, basically because she's also a rush operator as well, and she just has a better gun than Ash, I feel like. So the fact that she has a better gun is the fact that she's better than Ash in every sort of way. It's just that, like Ash, she's easily accountable. You just gotta have a coordinated team in order to basically defend yourself against either Ash or Amaru. So in the end, Amaru is better than Ash, but also in the end, you can put either or above each other, depending on your opinion. But you can't put Amaru or Ash above the next one on this list, because they're just like, the next one on this list is just like above them by like a good margin, I think. So anyways, I mean, while I'm just like discussing this, I guess you can watch the rest of this clip. But the next operator, I think deserves its spot to be better than the Morrow and Ash, basically.
Gibbs. Oh my god.
That was bad, but I got it. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
No, that was bad. No, that was okay.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
So,
Yeah.
in general, 57th is Legion. So, I feel like Legion is, like, utilized to, like, you know, have a trap slow down the enemy and stuff like that, which is good. That's good and all. I feel like he was better when he first came out with, like, the Legion traps, like, damaging you as you kept on walking. Now it's just like before you took like damage where you stepped on it, and then after every so often you kept it in, you kept taking damage. I feel like it should not have been. I feel like it should have just been kept like that and never been changed, because it makes no sense to take no damage when you step on it and just get slowed down and then take damage. It makes no sense. So like, the only purpose of him being 57 right now is because he slows down the enemy team long enough for him to be a good operator and all, and the fact that he's a good gun. That's basically it.
Scared the hell out of me.
But he's not really serving any purpose for the team other than slowing the enemy down to a point to where they can try to
Literally just straight up
to the point where their team can try to win. But honestly, if the enemy team is coordinated enough and can just shoot the Legions and destroy them, it's not as hard to defend against Legion as it is other operators to defend against, basically. 56 is Thorn. Basically the same point is, like, I mean, what all you have to do is get out of the vicinity of the Thorn gadget to basically not be destroyed, not be blown up by it, and it's wicked easy to like dodge the Thorn. You just like trigger it and then run out of the Thorn area. It's easy. Plus, like IQ can see it and like and stuff like that. There's other ways to dodge it, like with IQ or with like coordinated team and stuff like that. And once the Thorns are destroyed, then her ability is basically useless. So like 56 is probably the best spot for her, because once her ability is used, it's useless after that. Same thing with Wamai. Wamai has the weird thing where like, so Wamai is in 55th place basically because the weird thing with him is he's a worse Jaeger. Because if you say you're putting down all your Wamais, right? If you place them in the wrong spots and say they blow up the grenade and stuff like that, they're gonna blow up everything else. They're gonna blow up everything else around them. I'm pretty sure I think that's still a thing where they will blow up everything around them if the thing gets triggered off. Which in that scenario it will destroy all your utility you put down. If that's not a thing, then it works a little bit like Jaeger, but it's still worse than Jaeger. So in a way, either way, if it doesn't destroy anything or if it does destroy stuff, either way, I think it's still a worse Jaeger. And the fact that like it can protect you for such a good amount of time, it's very limited, because like once they blow up themselves and get destroyed, there's not much one Mike can do. At least with Jaeger, he shoots it and the destroyer thing's destroyed, not his Jaeger. For his Jaeger to get destroyed, they have to shoot it, rather than just like throwing their utility and then having it get destroyed. So like the fact that the Jaeger thing doesn't destroy itself is why Jaeger is better than Wamai, and I feel like since Wamai's thing destroys itself, it's very limited. So I feel like that's the reason why Wamai is not as good as all the other operators in this game, because his ability is very limited and time based, rather than all the other operators in this game, which is not time based and not limited. So I feel like Wamai deserves this placement no matter what, unless you guys can suggest why Wamai could be higher. I think Wamai and Captel are easily suggested to be higher if with given the right opinion. But I feel like they have good spots to them right now. But if you want me to change them, I will in a future update, but not anytime soon. Next we have Ying in 54th. Basically, her ability can be easily dodged if you have a coordinated team. But other than that, her gun's really good. Her gun's like better than the guns I listed so far, so that's why she gets 54th. Ella is in 53rd. Basically, it's the same thing with all the other uppers. Once you place down her utility, her like little ice cream cone that stuns everybody, she's basically once her things get destroyed, she's basically useless. Because all her things do is like stun the enemy. That's it. They don't really like. I guess they kind of track you for Ella's sake. So in a way, they help out Ella only. They don't really help out the team and themselves. So I feel like Ella's not a team player operator. She's kind of only used for herself in a way. But her guns is what puts her this high up, because her guns is just like such really good guns in the game. So I feel like with her guns being this good, I feel like this is why she's up this high. But the only fact is that her ability is useless, but is better than the abilities I've listed so far. I feel like her placement can't be argued. I think she's probably in this spot no matter what. Yeah. If I would argue, I guess, with somebody in like for Captel and Wamai, I think Captel and Wamai could be higher than Ella, and I think Ella still would deserve this place no matter what. I think she's not as good as all the operators listed above her, and she's better than all the operators listed before her. So I feel like this spot is probably perfect for Ella right now, and I can't really see myself putting her any higher or putting her any lower unless argued upon differently. So, anyways, Ella gets 53rd, basically because her ability is kind of useless and her gun is like one of the like best guns in the game, basically. Alright, we have Caveira at 52nd. So Caveira actually is a pretty decent operator. She's a 50-50 in my opinion. If you have a coordinated team, you can defend against her a good amount. If you don't have a coordinated team, then Caveira is going to be the hardest boss in the game kind of thing. Because like if you can't defend yourself against her, then your whole team is just gonna get destroyed and wiped out. But if you can control yourself enough to, if you can communicate with your team enough to basically kill her right away, then your team's gonna win. So it's a 50-50 scenario. What do you kill her first or kill her like last? So like you have to, if there's Caveira on the enemy team, you have to target her first in order to beat her. Which is why if you just have a coordinated team, you can easily defeat Caveira. Which is why I put her only in 52nd and not anywhere higher. Other than that, she has the best pistol in the game basically, because her pistol is like basically a 2-shot, 3-shot. So like she has the best pistol in the game basically because of her ability.
I got him down to half. I shot him in the chest.
So like that's why she gets 52nd, because like she just has the best like overall like pistol in the game. Her gun's not that good, but her ability backs her up a way to make her higher enough to be up this high. So I feel like having her this high is not that debatable. The only thing that would be debatable, I guess, is putting Captel or like Wamai above her, basically because they serve a better purpose. But right now, I feel like Caveira is better than those two, unless someone can argue with me about it to figure out if Captel and Wamai are better than Cav in a way. But for now, I think Cav deserves a spot, basically because her ability is decent if done right, and her gun is also decent if used right, basically. So I feel like it's a good spot for her. I don't think I can really argue with her being higher or lower on this list. I think she's a pretty good operator, honestly. We got in
I got 3 kills that round.
51st. We got in 51st. We got Vigil. I was really debating on this a lot. I think it's varied upon Vigil being just a roamer and only helping himself. But he's a better roamer than Cav. Basically because Vigil can hide himself more than Cav can, and Vigil can help out the team a little more than Cav can, because once Vigil's dead, he can just call out to the team, and it's easy from there basically. Vigil's just a better roamer than Cav and has better guns than Cav, which is why he's better than Cav on this list. Same thing with Oryx. Oryx is a better roamer than Vigil, has better guns than Vigil, and overall is just better than Vigil. That's why Oryx is 50th place. In 49th place we got Rook. So Rook I was debating on a lot whether I should put him in this video or in the next video. But I think overall, noticing that once you put down the armor that Rook has, and once you're the last one standing,
Yo, Doc.
honestly, once you're the last one standing, his ability is kind of useless. And the armor only serves a purpose for basically when you're down you can pick yourself back up. But the ability to pick yourself back up is way too slow. So I feel like it doesn't help out the team that much. So I feel like Rook being in that placement is not a bad placement for him, because his ability is very limited and very I guess not time based, but it's just very limited. And I feel like if the ability to pick yourself up was faster, then it could be utilized. It could be talked about in a way to have Rook higher on this list. But overall, that's what I'm gonna put him as 49th for now. Fuse is in 48th, basically because his ability can be dodged, and once his ability is done, his usefulness is basically gone. But his guns are the best guns in the game, basically, so that's why I put him in 48th. 47th is Grim. Basically Grim is basically just a worse version of Dokkaebi or Jackal in a way, because once he uses his ability he can track the people, and that's basically it to help out the team. But once that's over, you basically are kind of useless in a way, so you have to coordinate your team a lot with Grim, I think, to make himself useful. But I mean, he's not the worst operator in the game, so I mean, having him in 47th is not a bad place for him, honestly.
That was insane.
In 46th, you got Melusi. So 46 for Melusi is not a bad placement, honestly. Her purpose is to slow down the enemy team. So once her things are destroyed, she can't slow down the team anymore. So her ability will be basically useless after that, which is why it serves the same purpose as Rook, for example. Once his armor has been taken care of and everything like that, it's he's useless. So, and then once Melusi's thing's been taken over, he's useless. So it's just both Melusi's and Rook's ability are very limited to a way to where if they get once they get destroyed, it's done. So I just put Melusi's in 46th place because her gun's decent and her ability is decent. It's just that once her ability is used, it's over basically. So anyways, the next operator on this list I think deserves to be higher than Melusi and higher than everyone else on this list so far. So that's why I put this operator is coming up above Melusi, and I put Melusi below everyone. I put Melusi in the spot because she's better than everyone else on this list so far, other than the ones coming after her.
Let's go.
So the person in the operator in 45th place that we got on here is Echo. So Echo gets 45th basically because he serves a good purpose. for his Echo drones. He slows down the enemy team and stuff like that. But if the team is coordinated enough to the point where they can see the Echo drones, destroy them, and basically once they destroy all of them, Echo's purpose is basically useless. The thing that would be kind of cool, I guess, is once his things get destroyed, he can track the enemy team down with like, you know, like the like once drones get destroyed, it like pains the enemy team or something like that. Like if it was like that, then his ability would be more useful in a way to like pain the enemy team once his Echo things gets destroyed. But I mean, so the fact that his Echo drones can be easily seen and the fact that they can be easily destroyed and stuff like that is the fact that Echo is not that useful once they're destroyed, and he's basically useful until his things are destroyed. So he's basically time based and a limited operator to be used on your team basically. His gun overall is good though. I don't have any problem with his gun. His gun is probably like one of the best in the game. So like doing it like that in a way is actually not that bad. I think he has a good operator setup for him. So Echo, I feel like is 45th no matter what. I feel like you really can't argue him any higher because his ability is useless after they're destroyed, and his gun is just decent and not like that. Like it's not a god gun, it's just decent enough to be in the spot basically. So that's why I put Echo in 45th.
I don't know how
And that was a 2-kill clutch because the 75 plus thing was just another guy that killed him first. Frost basically. So that's why that was a 2-kill clutch, and that's why Echo is 45th. Yeah. Again, off topic. It's fine. 44th is Clash. 44th is Clash basically because her ability for her to shield herself protects her long enough to basically have her coordinate with the team to destroy everybody. And the fact that she also has that shock thing to slow the enemy team down is also like the sprinkle on the cake. The only thing that's like putting her down is a gun skill. Her guns being like the worst guns in the game. That's the only thing that's putting her down, which is why she's in 44th and not like any higher. So we're getting to the rest of this list where we get to the point where we get operators that can be just has to be higher or in the next video and stuff like that. I feel like after this, it's kind of hard to discuss where we put these operators. I feel like Tachanka being 43rd is a good placement for him. But overall, I think you can be, I guess, in a way, talkative about this to where like you can tell me that Tachanka deserves to be in a higher spot. But I feel like for the sake of this video, I think since Tachanka, his ability is to slow down the enemy team for a limited amount of time. Once his ability is used and once it's over, you're done. The team can easily fight back once his ability is already used. So it's the same purpose. His ability is time based and limited. That's basically why he's 43rd. But he can be suggested to be higher on this list if argued in the right way. So I'm just gonna leave him 43rd for now until someone says otherwise, and I'll change him in a further update, like at the end of the next season, depending on your guys' opinions, basically.
That guy's one tap Thorn.
In 42nd we got Goyo. I feel like his ability is very useful, and same thing with Tachanka. Once it's used, it's done. So like he's another time-based kind of like thing, to where like basically his thing is very limited. Once he like pops it, it can get destroyed Now, once he pops it, it just lasts for a very amount of time. And once the enemy pops it, it just lasts a very amount of time. It's basically like a 50-50. It either helps you out or not. So Goyo just gets 40-second because his guns are way better than everyone else in the game. Well, way better than everyone else on this list, except for one operator. And this is really just it's a 50-50 depending on how you use it. That's basically why he gets 42nd. 41st is Thunderbird. So I was debating on her a lot to put. I didn't know if I was gonna put her in this video or not, and I decided to put her in this video, basically because you have to utilize her in a very difficult way. You have to put down 2 of your Thunderbirds and keep one on you at all times. Doing that, once your 2 Thunderbirds are destroyed, then your purpose is to basically have your other one to use either for yourself or for your teammate. And once it's used, you have to pick it back up and just keep it. And keep doing that. And that is very difficult to do if you don't have a coordinated team, but if you do, then it's a little bit easier, but still hard in a certain way. But other than that, Thunderbird's guns are decent enough to put it at the top of this list in this video, and her ability is decent enough to put it at the top of this video as well. So overall, she gets 41st because of her ability and because of her gun being better than every other operator on this list in this video. So that is part 1. So part 2, we'll discuss the operators from 40th to 21st, and we'll see which operator gets 40th, always which operator gets 21st, basically. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you will enjoy the next video. And just remember, this is all opinion based and subjective, and can be easily argued upon. So I will see you in the next video. Peace out.